Hi, I'm here with Cameron Corish from Core Health Coaching, and today
Hi.
we are looking at some beginner balance exercises. Now, just before Cameron said to me, why is balance important? And I said, because you don't fall down then. And but I mean, I use balance because I think it's fun. It's, you know, you can burn more calories, but there's a whole other range of reasons why you might do balance exercises, as he's going to tell us about.
Yeah, certainly. Look, a lot of people not really sure why balance is important. For a start, for older people, balance is really important about not falling over. So, you know, you can have a lot of injuries based on falling over. That's fairly classic, but when we're talking about, injury prevention, is that if your muscles through your ankles and through your feet are stronger, you're less likely to have lower back problems. So definitely the stronger that you are around through that ankle complex, and those balance exercises are really going to reduce your injuries. And from a performance perspective, what we were talking about before is that you could lift a heavy weight and do really heavy squats, but if you haven't got your balance, you can't lift the same amount. So the work that you do in regards to like your lunges or your squats will significantly improve with getting a little bit more around we call it the neurological development. And that's what balance is all about. So I'll start off with just testing your balance. So the first thing that we're going to do is just stand on one leg, lift one leg up, great, and then close our eyes. So now, how long you go for this really determines whether or not you need to do a lot of balance work. So probably looking at about 5 to 10 seconds.
The wind was blowing
That's
me.
it was a huge wind that blew you over. So we'll try the other leg. Now sometimes what will happen, and close your eyes, is that you'll find one side is not going to be as strong as another. So that's the side that we would work more. Ideally with your eyes closed, 60 seconds is fantastic. If you're 5 or 10 seconds, you need to do a little bit more through your balance
I'll
exercise.
be practicing my balance.
You will now.
Yeah, I will now.
So one of the things that we've done, the test is actually then the exercise. So what happens is we can stand on one foot, hold the balance and close our eyes, and hold it for, if you come off, just get back again. If you're uncertain about the floor around you, if you're worried that you're going to fall over, stand close to something that you can actually hold, a tree or a wall or even something in front of you, so then that way you're showing off. But definitely making sure that something's close that you're comfortable with holding. Okay? So that was good. So then what we can do is we can compress that up a little bit. We've got a couple of little tools here that we're going to use it.
Okay.
The first one we've got is the Bosu ball.
My friend, the Bosu, yes.
Okay, now you can actually start with this one doing a fairly wide stance through there. So if you stand on one side through there, yep, and then on the other side. Great. So the wider your stance, the easier it actually is. So that in itself just makes sure that the ankles are working a little bit harder with the balance. And then Sally's just going to move her feet a little bit closer to each other, make it a little bit harder. So there should be a little bit more wobble through the Bosu ball. That's perfectly okay. And a lot of people actually then start to really, their legs shake a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. So even walk it a little bit closer. And you can start to see a little bit of wobble there, but Sally's just a little bit too good. So what we'll do is we're now going to go to single leg, okay? That's it. Now the other part to any sort of balance exercise is actually the coordination of the rest of the body. So if your posture is out and you're leaning forward, it's going to be harder to balance. So always thinking about keeping your shoulders back, drawing in your belly button and really holding that core through there. And the other part to that is actually the link between your glutes as well. So your bottom, making sure your bottom is tight, core is tight, and then the shoulders are back, and then all of a sudden that just makes that easier, that exercise so much easier.
So it's almost like imagining there's a string pulling you up to the roof to have good posture, I've always thought.
Yeah, mate, perfect description. I think you've done this before.
Maybe.
Okay, we'll jump off. So that's probably one of the first level tools that you can use. Second one is we've got a Duradisc. This is great because it's a little bit closer to the ground, so some people feel a little bit more careful with that. But we'll just go straight into, you can do both feet on this, but we'll go straight into a single.
Oh, straight into a single.
Yeah. And you can see there's just a little bit more movement there because you're on a cushion of air, so it's just a little bit harder. And you will notice that you'll tend to fall on the same direction, okay? That'll show you where your strength is. So if you're generally falling, relying on the outside, and you fall on the inside, you're stronger on the outside part of the foot. So really try and concentrate on the inside, work the muscles on the inside part of that foot, And as the whole exercises represent, it's balance between left and right foot and the inside and outside part of your foot as well. So definitely it's a little bit harder, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, that one's harder.
Yeah, that's
But
great.
these are great. I often give these to my office worker clients to sit on during the day because they're good for core stability.
Yep.
Durodiscs,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, you bet. So when we're talking about that core stability, then we go up to the next one, which is then using your Swiss ball.
Swiss ball.
So, okay, so just sitting on that, facing the front, and again what we do is we just lift up one leg, and what we're doing is we're relying on this one here is again keeping the shoulders back, belly in, and the first step is keeping the eyes open. Second step is then closing the eyes, making it just a little bit tougher. And obviously when we talk about the exercises, it's the length of this exercise, so about 60 minutes to 2 minutes.
60 seconds.
Yeah, no, 60 minutes. Go 60 minutes. There you go. 60 seconds to 2 minutes. Thanks, Sally. And then obviously doing, focusing on the side that's a little bit weaker. The next one there is actually taking both feet off the ground, really sitting back on the ball, and this is where you really get to have an understanding of your balance, or your stability, and really working that core. So you can see Sally's just using one foot to go through there and keeping as still as you possibly can. Now obviously the right side Swiss ball is really going to help through here as well. Is that the bigger the ball, the easier this one is. The smaller, it's just really tough to do. But again, you can't do this exercise if your core's not switched on and your posture's not in the right position.
And I would say too, I think some pieces of exercise equipment you can buy cheap and nasty ones. I think with Swiss balls you can't. You've got to buy a quality Swiss ball or you just can't do the exercise. That's what I think.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So the next one then is actually on your knees. Again, we're just working our way up in regards to complexity. And again, core, glutes, and the shoulders through there. And this just trains your body in regards to adjusting really quickly and adjusting that balance, but then maintaining that core strength. Right? How do you go standing on it?
Okey-dokey.
Okay, obviously this is a fairly difficult exercise, so you need to be comfortable in the space around you. Make sure everything's fairly safe.
Oh.
Great.
Don't try that at home. No, do, but have a lot of pillows and things around.
Yeah. So that takes us through a full range of stability type of exercise, balance exercises, using a couple of different tools there.
Thanks, Cameron.
No problem. Thank you.